Hello everybody, my name is Hanji Zoe, and welcome to the Attack on Titan fandom retrospective. So yes, as you can see, I got a fancy new mic. I decided I would do some anime commentary about the history of the Attack on Titan fandom, specifically circa 2013 to 2016, but not do any research on it. Mainly because I was in the Attack on Titan fandom around that time. So I kind of just want to talk about it from memory, which is probably a bad idea, but this is my channel and my rules, so I'm gonna be talking about my fandom stories with this fucking series, because as of this recording, it's been about 2 weeks since Attack on Titan officially ended. Now this is gonna get a little bit interesting, because as I said, I was in the Attack on Titan fandom around 2014 to 2016. Do you all know what ages I was in 2014 to 2016? I was between the ages of 12 and 15. We're going to be talking about a lot of it because Attack on Titan was how I got into anime. If you didn't know, first of all, I am dressed as Hanji Zoe, who's cosplaying Eren Jaeger. That is my shtick for the day. I want to talk about like the original Attack on Titan fandom, which I think is circa 2013 to 2016, just before the second season when it was announced and produced in 2017, which like the fandom was kind of revived around then. But not really. Now, I was in this fandom solely wholeheartedly from about 2013 to 2016, and sort of fizzled out around 2017 because I was a diehard Italian at that point. My justification for doing this video is that Attack on Titan, back in the day, was a gateway anime. It was a gateway into anime, into Fujoshi territory, which we will get into cosplaying, which we will also get into. For me, it was a gateway into Vocaloid, which I will also get into. And would be the butterfly effect to not only me being a Italian, one of the most toxic fucking fandoms in the universe, even more toxic than Attack on Titan, but also it would lead me into reading Killing Stalking because the main character looked like Levi. Also, Levi just so happened to be my first anime crush. When I first started getting into Attack on Titan, it was roughly 2014. I said 2013 to 2016. It was more 2014 to 2016-ish, going on into 2017. But slowly dying out as I felt more connected to Hetalia. I didn't even watch season 3 until like 2020, so I missed out on quite a bit there. I always liked Hanji, I always liked Levi, I hated Erwin, continue to hate Erwin. Is that because of my shipping back in 2014? Yes. So we're gonna get into that. So first of all, the series itself. What was my opinions back then when there was only one season, back when we didn't know Levi's last name, back when we didn't really recognize Levi's age, which I think was a big thing in shipping culture. Well, yes, he was much older than Eren, and I think I knew that back then. I didn't know a whole lot about Levi, and that was evident by the fact that I was pretty much anime only. In fact, a couple years later when I found out Levi and Mikasa had the same surname, I was so confused. But first thoughts on Attack on Titan. So I got into Attack on Titan because an Attack on Titan crack appeared in my YouTube feed from watching a Dan and Phil video. and all of my fandom things lead back to Dan and fucking Phil. But I watched that. I get spoiled pretty much for everything because the entire first season had come out at that point. This was 2014, and obviously Attack on Titan aired in 2013. So I get into it at this point. And in these cracks, I find Free Iwatobi Swim Club, the anime, which I wouldn't watch until I'd watched the first episode of Attack on Titan. I had purchased, I think, the first 3 episodes of Attack on Titan on iTunes. Hold on, I can actually check with Apple TV. I bought the first 9 episodes of Attack on Titan to watch it in English just before I discovered what Kiss anime was. I recall when I was about 12 to 13, which is when I discovered Attack on Titan, I, could only afford the first 4 episodes, and they were $2-3 each, because that's how Apple is. They make you pay per episode. But I really liked it, and as I said, I got spoiled for everything because I watched cracks religiously about this anime, and that's what made me get into the anime, was the community, was the fandom. And because Free was so fucking huge around that time, I also managed to start watching Free as well, which had the interesting side effect of both of these series having major fujoshi fan bases, and thus shipping culture. So Attack on Titan has had probably one of the most turbulent shipping cultures in most anime fandoms. The worst of it was 2013, with the 2 most major ships, 3 or 4 even. The ones that I recall mostly being MLM ones, being ereri, which was Erwin and Levi. Ereri was because Levi wasn't Levi, he was Revi. I can't remember why the entire fandom called him Revi, but ereri was Eren and Levi. Ereri was Erwin and Levi. And I fucking hated that ship with every ounce of me because I loved Levi. He was my first anime crush, and I was an ereri shipper. Let's talk the yaoi aspect of Attack on Titan. This being the shipping culture, especially the gay shipping culture of Attack on Titan back in the day. Now, I can talk for hours about shipping culture currently because it's actually, where it was originally very, very gay and problematic because it was, age gaps. The biggest ship was ereri, which is Eren and Levi, which at the time of the first season, I think Eren was supposed to be 13 to 15, I think. And so with Levi being in his mid-30s, I think, with the series, there was a huge, shipping culture and being this is so problematic. Cut to 2023, 10 years later, and everyone is shipping straight ships, and it's a little bit bizarre to me because of exactly how gay the ships were back in the day. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I never liked Eren and Mikasa, or Emika, I think it was. I don't know the ship names properly. I have only ever known ereri and ereri because those were the only ones that mattered to me back then. So, first of all, as a former ereri shipper and a hardcore shipper at that, I fucking hated the characters of Petra, Erwin, and kind of Mikasa. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it took me a while to, get on Mikasa's side. However, I am on her side. I just don't particularly like the romance element between her and Eren, and it's got nothing to do with, it being part of her character arc. It's solely because at the start of the series, I didn't know that they were not related, point blank period, because she's played off as his adoptive sister. We, at that point in the series, don't exactly know why she's his adoptive sister, and I was under the impression that they had grown up together their entire lives. Not that Eren and Mikasa had only known each other for a very short amount of time before this series started. So the whole shipping of Eren and Mikasa to me was so weird, because it's like, these are kids that have grown up together, they're like siblings. Why are you shipping these people who are like siblings even if she's adopted? So that didn't sit the best with me, and it's actually why I wasn't a huge fan of the kiss at the end. Like, I get she loves him, and that is like, and he loves her, and that's like a big part of the characters, but I can't get over like this feeling from when I was 13 and thought that they were adoptive siblings and had known each other their entire lives. So I, at the start, didn't like Mikasa either. But you would notice that I hated Petra and Erwin, because those two were the main people shipped with Levi. Now, I was a huge fan of Levi. Levi has continued to be my favourite character since the very beginning. My first anime crush was Levi. And I think that's why I shipped Ereri back in the day, because Eren was close to my age, and Levi was the character that I loved. So having that felt right to me at the time, because like, it was like me putting myself in Eren's position, and I just stumbled in to the yaoi portion of it all solely somehow because it just appeared before me, quite literally. I was on Wattpad at that time and was searching Attack on Titan stuff, and so Ereri obviously came up, and Eruri came up, and Levi X Petra came up as well, and like, when it comes to my ships, I, first of all, loved Jean and Mikasa together. I also loved Jean and Armin together. You got me jumping like... I was a mess when it came to these ships, but Eren and Levi, to me at that time, were perfect for one another. And like, nothing will sum up why I thought that more than this scene. Huh? Don't ask me why, I don't know. Something about that scene being like single-handedly memed the fuck out of so much made their dynamic better to me, I guess. That and the sheer amount of fanfiction. The sheer amount of fanfiction for this couple was fucking insane. Now, on top of all that, I also shipped Annie and Armin, as well as Annie and Mikasa in some forms. Sasha, I kind of just like left her alone, same with Connie. Jean would always be shipped with either Armin or Mikasa. Who else? Or Marco. I fucking forgot about Marco. Jean Marco was also one of my favourite ships. So when I found out this fucker was in so little of the anime, I was shocked. What do you mean? The man that I have been shipping with Jean for so long is in so little of this fucking anime. We don't even go to talk about Historia and her ships and all that sort of shit, because I didn't care about her character for a long time. Also, I don't think Yumiya had a name at that point. Or at least, like, in the actual anime, she didn't have a name. I found out about her name from fanfiction and people who read the manga putting her name into fanfiction and sort of just being like, who the fuck is Yumiya? But since I've talked so much about fanfiction, I need to talk about fanfiction. I was a Wattpad kid, then moving into a Quote V kid. So I have not been on Wattpad in a long fucking time. we're not gonna like, oh, for fuck's sake. I see the remnants of myself back then, and it's so cringy. And the first thing I see for Attack on Titan is House Cat, Neko Levi, ex Eren. Ooh. Okay, looks like I still have my library. Ooh. Italia. Okay, this is X-Reader. This is X-Reader. Next page. X-Reader. We've got Attack on Titan High School, which is X-Reader. This is the one I was fucking looking for. Okay, so, sorry, I have just discovered that one of the, Attack on Titan fanfics that I read, that I kept on my quote V library, got purged. All the Attack on Titan fics that I sort of used to read were, either Levi Ackerman X-Reader, which I would not fill my name in, we've come to know this. We've got also, an Attack on Titan Various X-Reader. We also have, another X-Reader, I believe. So, I said this in a now deleted video, but I have always thought that series with really big casts do baby fics or like kindergarten fics, stuff like that, very well. For example, you've got Haikyuu, where Suga is a where Sugawara is a kindergarten teacher or an elementary school teacher, and there are fics where the entire cast, with the exception of the third years, will be like children, and the third years will all be adults and stuff like that. And I, as a kid, really liked those fics a lot, or like babysitting fics, stuff like that. This all started with an Attack on Titan fic. I do not recall exactly what was in this fic. I just remember reading it, and it's about 33 chapters long. It was made in, it was last updated in 2016, which is, started publishing in 2015, updated last in November of 2016. It was an X-Rated. What's funny is my quote V reads, which I went to quote V way after Wattpad. All of my Wattpad saves from Attack on Titan is Eren x Levi. I keep going. I find it very funny that I went from reading like Ribbon or ereri, they're religiously on Wattpad, to reading Levi X-Reader on Corby. But like the ereri stuff was rampant throughout the fandom. If you liked that ship, were you fed fucking well. Now, I never really participated in any discourse around any fandom stuff, but I was like a huge ereri fan. At my very first con that I ever went to, which was Anime Fest, I found an Eren and Levi cosplayer, and I took a photo with them because they were my favorite fucking ship. I didn't make them do anything, I didn't say that they were my favorite ship, I just took a photo with them because I really loved the ship, and I feel really bad for those cosplayers. But when it comes to like the shipping culture for Attack on Titan, I find it very interesting how it's like changed from when it started out versus now, because I was so invested in the shipping culture back in the day, and like most people, you may be wondering, how the fuck did you like this ship? Levi was my favorite character, and Eren was near my age at the time, so I like essentially used Eren as a self-insert, which is probably evident by the fact that I went from reading Eren x Levi to Levi X Reader. So veering out of the fanfiction sphere, I also did want to talk about on YouTube, other than like Attack on Titan cracks, the other fan created medium that really started to push ereri a bit as well as like Mika and I believe Jean Marco as well, or Jean Armin, which was MMD. Now, MMD, if you didn't know, is Miku Miku Dance. It is a like type of animation software where you can like download models and create your own memes, dances, stuff like that. You'll probably recognize it most in the modern era from this video here. But I was obsessed with these videos back in the day. As I said, Attack on Titan led me to not only some K-pop groups like Kara, a lot of the Kara songs that are like my favorite, I saw as Attack on Titan MMD videos, as well as some Vocaloid as well. So Laboratory, like the song, the first time I ever heard it was from an Attack on Titan MMD. And like that spiraled me into a Vocaloid phase on top of my Attack on Titan phase. I was watching skits, I was watching like vines retold as Attack on Titan. I was fucking obsessed. And like some of these MMDs would make it into like crack compilations, which like again I was obsessed with. And if you didn't know what a YouTube crack was or a YouTube poop, they were like exactly the same thing. But for some reason, I see everyone call it YouTube poop when I know it is YouTube crack, and they used to all be called cracks. I guess it's only an anime thing, but like I obsessed with them. They used to be like made out of like the jokes of the day, jokes within the fandoms, jokes within like vines, shit like that. I was obsessed with those. And so when I found MMDs, I went to go find those videos separately. Then I found the dance videos, then I found like K-pop from that, I found Vocaloid from that, and I found dancing cosplay videos. So, when I talk about like my cosplay experience and what got me into cosplay and like wanting to get into group cosplays and like how one of my dreams is to be in a group of cosplayers doing skits together and like doing YouTube stuff together, like I think that would be fucking awesome. It all started from one group, this being I believe Vendetta cosplay, and like they weren't the first Attack on Titan cosplays that I found. But they were the ones that did the skits, and they did Attack on Titan High School, which I ate up. I love them so much. Now, they don't really post anymore, and like they also posted stuff from Voltron and Steven Universe as well, but like I loved them for their Attack on Titan shit. I thought it was the best. I would rewatch the skits over and over and over. I thought they were so funny. I thought the characters were amazing, and like sometimes I would have to rewatch them because I wouldn't know who was like Jean, who was Eren, who was Marco, all that sort of stuff. But like or who was Levi, especially like the difference between Marco and Levi because their like haircuts were so similar. But like that sort of stuff really like I love. And I like would love to have like a group like that in the future as well. They were one of the like biggest groups that really got me into cosplay and cosplay skits and all that sort of stuff. Now, of course, there was also like CMVs, which is cosplay music videos, which I could talk about MEPs and MAPs as well when it comes to Attack on Titan, but that's like a whole separate video in itself. If you want me to talk about MAPs and like actually do research into them, then I would love to. But when it comes to like Attack on Titan cosplay skits, it'll look really different now, but like one of the first ones that come up is Adventures at Titan High. Which is funny because like you also have like Attack on Junior High, but it's by them, Vendetta cosplay. You've got the Shingeki no Kyojin cosplayer vines. Those were also fucking huge. I can't remember what group did them, but they were also insane and I loved them. I think the yeah, it was these guys. Also the Alchemic Fox, they were also someone that I would watch a lot of Attack on Titan skits from. Oh my god, I just unlocked a fucking memory. Holy shit. And they still upload! They still upload actually regularly. Holy shit. I didn't even realize that. And, you may be screaming at me, as I've been talking about cosplays that I used to watch for Attack on Titan skits, for me not saying the Survey Corps dances. Yes, I used to watch the Attack on Titan dances, not just the Survey Corps, though the Survey Corps one was probably the best one out there. However, I also need to go back and swing back around to K-pop, because we talked about MMD and like it introducing me to Vocaloid via Attack on Titan, and how it also introduced me to K-pop bands, like Kara. Now, I have to also add that, like, Attack on Titan also introduced me to, like, groups or, like, composers or no, singers like Araki, Real as well, and it's actually the real version of Laboratory that was on that Attack on Titan MMD video that I was in love with. We need to talk about This Love and Attack on Titan, because there was so many cosplay videos of This Love. Now, this started from a animation meme where it was the Attack on Titan characters pretty much drawn over the members of Shinhwa who sing This Love, which then led cosplayers to dance as to do the dance to This Love in cosplay. There was so many videos. I was just in this like bubble of This Love, and like it became one of my favorite Shinhwa songs. Because of these cosplayers dressing as like Levi, Erwin, Jean, Marco, Eren, Armin. Sometimes not even Armin, it would be like Reiner and Bertolt as well. And if it wasn't them, there would be like the backup dancers on the floor. It was like insane. And you think I'd be surprised that I ended up being a K-pop stan in the end, because I wasn't really a K-pop stan around that point. I was actually just getting into K-pop around that point. In terms of like other animation memes, you had Smooch, which is one of my favourite animation memes to this date. You had Rolling Girl. Those are the first two anime that really got me into being like an anime lover and to kind of where I am today. But like, I just kept seeing it everywhere. Now, I wasn't on Tumblr at this point. I was on, like, I would, like, be scouring DeviantArt, fanfiction.net, Wattpad, QuoteV, would not touch Archive. Would not. Too scary. I just find it so insane, and I'm wholeheartedly in the belief that it is because of the shipping aspect that these two, like, series were so well connected, at least in fandom-wise. And so, yeah, it's just a little wild to me, being someone who was in the fandom around that time, around the peak of the fandom toxicity, that, like, how much it's changed, because I'm gonna be honest, I solely think people think of the fandom back then as toxic was because of the shipping culture. And like, yes, ereri is most definitely a problematic ship. And as I've said, I only liked that ship because I thought of myself as Eren in that position. Levi was my favorite character. As an adult, I can totally fucking see why that is gross, and I am a Levi Hange stan the entire way. I still will not ship Erwin and Levi for the life of me. I still do not like that man. Petra and Levi also is very cute. But Hange and Levi, I mean, they're best buddies. I love them. I did sort of start shipping them back in the day, but I want them together so bad. And in terms of who Eren, I think I would ship with today, nobody. I'm still a Jean. I'm still a Jean Mika shipper. Do I think the ending that Eren and Mikasa got, how they like confessed their love to each other, was cute and made sense for them? Yes. Was I happy about it? No. Was I very, very happy about it when it was hinted that Jean would become Mikasa's husband and they'd have a child? Yes! Yes! I was very happy. I wasn't hugely into, like, the active part of the fandom. I was just reaping the rewards as a 13-year-old. I never got into fandom discussions, this, that, and the third. No, I was always just reaping the rewards of the fandom's production. So I didn't see the shipping wars, I didn't see, like, how toxic fans would be to one another. I would simply only see the creation. And, like, in hindsight, yes, ereri as a whole was super problematic. But at that time, I didn't see any other discourse, literally any other discourse whatsoever, except for shipping discourse, which is like a Fujoshi problem. And when I say a Fujoshi problem, I mean it's like pretty much only Fujoshis who will be really bothered by it. And when I say a Fujoshi problem, I sort of mean people who have a problem with Fujoshis, who like, or pro shippers, I guess, in this case. I wouldn't know what it's called, because pro shipping is still something that's very, very new to me. But like, people, in my mind, it would be people having a problem with Fujos, which at the time, in that sort of climate of like the anime fandoms, that was pretty normal. At least from memory. Again, I was a kid when this is happening. So from what I was like shown and what I was exposed to at the time, that was actually pretty normal. Though, yes, I can see why people thought it was super problematic, and I'm actually fully of the belief, but again, no research has been done into this, that I think the problem people had with the fandom was the sole fact that people would like shipping the characters, and it was getting insane and this, that, and the third. Because if you look at the fandom now, it's a lot of fanboys being like, yes, Sigma Eren, which I never saw back in the day. I never saw that. I saw people maybe thinking he was a great shonen protagonist and being like, he's like the next generation of the like big three and stuff like that. I never, ever saw Sigma shit with Eren. I never thought people thought Eren was like cool protagonist up until like season 4 because he was a brat. Like, I get people thinking Levi was cool, because Levi was the cool character. So, like, to think now, people saying, oh my god, the Attack on Titan fandom back then was so toxic, I don't believe. Maybe that's me, like, being ignorant. It probably is me being fully ignorant. I solely believe people's issues with the fandom back then was probably the shipping aspect, and maybe whatever the fuck cosplayers were doing at the time, because I have no clue what cosplayers were doing at the time. I've never heard stories of Attack on Titan cosplayers really doing anything. Like, I have been in the Hetalia fandom, the My Hero Academia fandom. You had Hetalian cosplayers go to war memorials. You had them doing the Nazi salute at conventions. So, compared to that, what were Attack on Titan cosplayers doing? Doing funny dances. They were doing funny dances. That is my perception of what the Attack on Titan fandom was doing. I've not really heard any other appalling, like, fandom stories from back then outside of the shipping culture of that time, though I could be erasing them. Most of the, like, negative connotations for Attack on Titan I see in terms of fandom is modern. And the modern stuff actually seems a lot more problematic now, because you had people wearing red armbands to conventions in like Western countries where that very much has different connotations here, especially since like this was my perception of the series once I had hit season 4. This is my artistic representation to my reactions to all of the Attack on Titan seasons thus far. Okay, let's go! So I've got like fantasy horror, a little bit of gore, and the kicker, they're all children. They are all like teenage, so a typical shonen, really? I mean, I knew, but I didn't think they'd say it so clearly. Jesus Christ. Wait, there's another fucking... Okay, so we've got the same arc continuing. Okay, that's cool. Oh, okay, now people are joining the... Okay, now the Okay, why does his hair look like that? Okay, why is he burnt to what? No, okay, we now get to the basement. It is now World War II. Literally my perception was like, oh, this is World War II. So I want you to put those two together and maybe rub your brain cells together as to why you shouldn't be wearing a red armband with your cosplay to a convention in the era of 2023, nearly 2024. So, that is probably, like, a fandom story that I hear in the now of the fandom being super toxic. Not even to mention Jaegerists, like, IRL Jaegerists as well. Not even gonna fucking touch on that. As well as, like, there is still shipping culture. It's just now very strict. Like, Mika versus Eren and Historia. I see those two ships get thrown around a lot. You've got Aru Annie, you've got Berthold and Annie, you've got, I do not see Jean Mika anywhere. I still see a lot of Jean Marco. Connie and Sasha, those are the ships I see a lot of. Where's Jean Marco? Where is Armin and Jean? Where did those ships go? The only surviving ship that I can remember from those days surviving till today is probably Ereri, which is Erwin and Levi, which was the ship that I didn't like. That's kind of all I actually have to talk about, but I do have some visual evidence of what my life was like between the years of 2014 to 2016 into 2017, because I did watch season 2 as it started coming out, and I do need to put down my microphone. I bought a lot as a child. When I found out about this wonderful thing in the US called Hot Topic, and that it shipped to Australia, ooh, you know I bought a lot. We're gonna go through what I had as a kid, what I still have to this day, and what I've actually never thrown out. I have never, like, once considered throwing out any of my Attack on Titan stuff from when I was a kid, and I'm so fucking happy. When it comes to, like, what I bought from Hot Topic as a kid, it was a lot. I bought from multiple different fandoms, like Black Butler, Hetalia, Free as well, because I never saw anything for free. Like, Australia did not have anime merch, point blank. JJ's is probably the only place now that actually sells, like, anime. JJ's and Uniqlo sell anime stuff now, but, like, I didn't know JJ's existed a couple of years ago. And if I'd went in, it would most likely be, like, mustache nerd stuff, because JJ's is like Hot Topic, but it's mainly just clothes and not all this extra shit that I found at Hot Topic. And I had never been to Hot Topic in the US because I was around 9 when I went to the US. So this is all stuff I ordered online. I still have them to this day, and the piece of clothing that I have, yes I wear, and yes I did buy that when I was like 15. Not even, when I was like 14. And like now, finally now I have a shirt with Levi on it that is buried in the back of my wardrobe somewhere. But back in the day I couldn't find shirts with Levi on it, so I bought My ass belonged to the Scout Regiment. I was 14 when I bought these. These still fit me. No, they don't cover pretty much anything. These are booty shorts, with Scout Regiment tattooed across my ass. They're actually very comfortable and very, very good for, summer, especially Aussie summers. But look how short these are. I love these. They're a slay. Honestly, if I, didn't have these anymore, I would cry. Genuinely, I would cry. But I bought these because it's like Wings of Freedom, and they're like shorts, and they're cute, and these are cute, and I like them a lot. I have those. I like to wear those. They're very comfortable. They're not the only thing I got from Hot Topic. I got this. Is a pocket watch, with the Wings of Freedom on the front, and inside, this is broken. Yeah, this is broken, but inside you got Eren from the poster, from the very first poster, so this is clearly a 2015 relic. But I have this, I love this, and it is so very on brand, I'm not gonna lie. But this isn't the only, like, chain thing that I have. First of all, I adored this item. I still adore it to this day. It's like, it would be so good for a cosplay. But I don't have a proper Attack on Titan cosplay, other than, like, my various variations on hange. But it is not, in fact, the only, like, necklace that I bought. I also got Eren's key, back before I knew what the fuck the key was for. I just knew that Eren had a key, and that this would be really good for an Eren Jaeger cosplay. And the last thing, now this wasn't from Hot Topic, this Hot Topic, I bought all of these when I was 14, but this is something I made. Now, we're not talking about Stitch here, we're talking about the thing that Stitch is wearing, that I have never been, like, fully able to ever get rid of, because I made it myself, and I made it in class at school. This was a silk scarf, and we were doing a silk scarf dyeing thing, for, I believe, textiles, and it would make sense if it was textiles, solely because it would have been around 2017 when I did this, which is when the second season came out. So it makes sense for me to do this, but it's very scrunched. But you can see on the front here, this is the logo, or the, like, name for the series, like Shingeki no Kyojin, with Attack on Titan poorly written underneath in wax. Then a quote, "If you win, you live. If you lose, you die." I think it's "if you don't try, you can't win," but I don't know what the fuck that word, "if you don't fight," which I think is supposed to be a quote from Eren, but to my knowledge could also be from Erwin. So, you've got the different regiment flags on here, or crests. You've got military police, which were, like, the two center ones for some fuck-off reason. You've got the Scout Regiment, and then you have the Garrison as well. I think my favourite one to do was the Garrison, but, like, I made this in class for an assignment. I regret my decisions, but I also did something for Italia as well, so this was significantly less cringe. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, little word vomit kind of retrospective on the Attack on Titan fandom, especially back in the day. Did I say some controversial shit? Maybe. Did I unlock some of your memories? Who knows? I certainly unlocked some of mine. And I surely probably added a couple extra things in editing as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys remember anything from, like, the early 2010s, when Attack on Titan was, like, in its peak for its fandom, anything I missed, especially your reasoning as to why the Attack on Titan fandom was so toxic back then, because I hear more horror stories with the Attack on Titan fandom now than I did back then. So, I'm very curious. What do you guys think of the Attack on Titan fandom then versus now? And let me know down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the rest of, for the rest of Upload Every Day December. So, yeah, Hanji Zoe dressed as Eren Yeager signing off.